Okay, friends, I am in the New York Public Library on Fifth Avenue at 42nd Street. That's the main entrance right down there, the grand hallway. I'm not going to walk around and tour the place, but oh my God, staggering. Why am I here? Because a friend of mine works here in the library as a framer and display. All the displays that are within different rooms of here, he is a big deal on the framing and the putting together of the exhibitions. So he asked me if I wanted to come and visit because my very first job in New York City, when I came to acting school in 1979, was as a page in the stacks in the library back overlooking Bryant Park, which is directly behind this library. Now, the way that worked is the stacks are not really solid floor-to-ceiling floors. It's kind of a floating grid that, between the windows looking at Bryant Park and where you are standing is a couple of feet where you can kind of look down and up, stack to stack. And the stacks themselves were just floor. Have you ever seen the movie Ghostbusters? In the beginning, when the librarian ghost is walking around, that's in the actual stacks. That was filmed in the actual stacks here. So what the deal was, the reading room upstairs, you could go in there, research a book that you wanted, you'd fill out a slip, put it in a pneumatic tube that would then be sent down to whatever stack that book lived on. So we would be manning the stacks. We were acting students. So we are manning these stacks, and then the pneumatic tube comes down to our stack. We go back in the shelves to retrieve from row 75, shelf B, book volume, whatever, and get the thing, bring it over to a dumbwaiter, and that would send it up to the reading room to the person waiting to read the book. So here I am, my best friend Gail and I worked down here. And because it was not solid floors, you can hear floor to floor anybody talking. Let's have a drink from this gorgeous fountain, shall we? I wonder if the line spits water. Hang on, I'm thirsty because this bitch doesn't work. Because Gail is training somebody a couple stacks away from me, a couple floors. And I hear her all day. And we're gonna get the tube, and we're gonna get the book, and we're gonna pin in the elevator, and then we're gonna do it. And I was getting sick of hearing her goddamn voice. I was sick of it. I'm looking for where the entrance is. Gee, where am I now? I'm on one. I gotta go down one to get out. I'm sick of hearing her voice. So here's what I do. I fill out a slip for a book that is on her stack. Or actually, no. If they had a lot of books upstairs that belonged on your floor, they would send you a slip saying, call lift. And then you would call the lift and you would get all those books out of the lift and then bring them and put them away, okay? So I know she's down there with this trainee. So I send the slip saying, call lift. And I hear it thump. Oh, when we get this, that's what we call the lift, and then we go and get the book. And then meanwhile, while she's doing that, my dumbass, I climbed into the dumbwaiter elevator. It's a rickety little dumbwaiter. I could have plummeted to my death. I weighed 17 pounds at the time, but still. And I wait for her to call the lift to her floor, and the minute that she opens the door, I just jump out at her. She screamed so loud, and I run back up 2 flights to my stack, and I'm just leaning down like, Gail, is everything okay down there? Meanwhile, supervisors, Miss Dennison, is everything okay down there? And she's having a heart attack with her trainee because I just scared the piss out of her because I was sick of hearing her voice all day. So anyway, my friend Ryan just took me on a trip back to the stacks, which are now, all of the books have been relocated elsewhere, but the stacks, the structure was all still there. And trust me, the dumbwaiter elevator, it has been upgraded considerably, though it's not in use, but it is not the rickety thing I climbed inside of. But wow, what a trip to step back in time to 1979 when I could have died in a dumbwaiter. And there's your story for a Tuesday. All right, New York. Oh, and while we were upstairs in one of the exhibit rooms, a lovely mother and daughter came up and said, excuse me, I saw you in a video on Broadway when I did the Here Be Bar, John Barr's channel about how to, navigate getting a Broadway ticket and all that stuff. I got recognized while my friend was giving me a tour, so get me.